All right, today we're going to dive into a short but wow, a really powerful story. It's about making a choice that changes everything. It's about sacrifice, yeah, but it's also about what happens when you're forced to completely rethink what purpose even means.
But before we get into it, I want to ask you something. Just think about it for a second. What makes a career good? Is it the job title you have, the money you make, or is it the impact you have? Just keep that in the back of your mind because we're about to see how one person had to wrestle with that exact question.
So, our story kicks off in a place a lot of us can probably relate to. The person who wrote this had built a life, a professional life they were proud of. When they say a good one, you can feel what that means, right? Stability, a sense of who you are, accomplishment. This was their normal. But that normal was about to be completely upended. And then it started. The pressure just began to build. And it wasn't like one big explosion. It was the slow, steady drip, drip, drip of new responsibilities piling on. First up, therapy appointments. Each one of those takes time, it takes energy, it takes so much focus, especially when you're trying to manage the very real, very complex needs of a child with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. Then, on top of that, you've got the school meetings. Endless school meetings. That means more time you have to take off work, more fighting for your kid, just more mental weight from trying to deal with systems that, let's be honest, aren't designed for kids with these kinds of challenges. You can almost feel the calendar filling up, your brain just getting totally fried.
And as if all that wasn't enough, there was this daily crisis. That ... It says so much, doesn't it? It's not about one bad day. It's about a constant state of emergency, always putting out fires, always managing the next unexpected thing. It's just relentless, absolutely relentless.
And, well, this is where it all leads. It's not a loud explosion, it's just this quiet, crushing realization. It's that moment where the juggling act just stops working, where you realize you literally cannot stretch yourself any thinner. That whole idea of a good career, it was starting to break apart under the pressure of something way more urgent. So this is what it all boiled down to. And look, this wasn't a choice between something good and something bad. No. It was a choice between two incredibly important things. On one side, you have this professional life you've worked so hard for. And on the other, you have your child who desperately needs an anchor, just something stable in a totally chaotic world. A career or a son who just needed them, more than anything.
And the way this is phrased is just so important. I left my job, not because I had to, but because he needed me more. This isn't a story about failing or getting pushed out of a career. It was a choice, a deliberate act of love. It was deciding to take all that skill, all that energy, and point it directly at the place it was needed most.
And of course, you know what happens when you make a choice like this, right? A choice that goes against what everyone thinks success looks like. People judge. Stepping away from a career? Yeah, that's going to get you some looks, some misunderstood comments. It's just part of the deal when you make a choice this personal, this brave. But here's the amazing contrast to all that noise from the outside. On the inside, no question, just this rock-solid belief. I know I did the right thing. That's that quiet confidence you have when you know what your real job is, and you don't need anyone else to sign off on it. See, this choice wasn't really about leaving a job. It was about starting a new one. This person didn't become unemployed. They just got a new set of job titles. The first one, the structure. Being that steady, predictable, stable person that their son could count on to make sense of the world. Next job title, the voice. Remember all those meetings we talked about? Well, now they could be there for every single one. A full-time advocate making absolutely sure their son's needs were being heard and actually met. And all those skills from that good career, communication, strategy, not giving up, they all just got poured into this brand new vital role. And maybe this is the most important one of all. They became the calm. When those daily crises hit, they were the one who could be the steady hand, the one who could soak up all the chaos and create a space of safety and peace. And let me tell you, that is not a passive job. It's active,
It's exhausting, and it is unbelievably important.
So the original story sums up this new purpose with a few hashtags. First, you've got hashtag FSDC Caregiver Life, which just names the reality of the situation. Then there's hashtag Full-Time Advocate. That's the voice role right there. And finally, hashtag Parenting with Purpose, which totally reframes the whole thing. It's not a sacrifice, it's a mission. Now, this doesn't mean it's a story about giving up on professional ambition forever. Not at all. It's more about recognizing that life comes in seasons, you know? The vision for that career is still there for someday, but it's an acknowledgement that right now, the priority is somewhere else. It's a choice for this season, for this critical time. And this, right here, this is the heart of the whole story. It's such a powerful statement about being present and being proud. There's no regret here, no resentment, just this deep, deep pride in being the anchor. You know, the one thing that holds steady and keeps things safe when the waters get stormy? The real value is found in what you're doing right now, today. So we're going to end right back where we started with that question. This whole story really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? Where do we find our real purpose? Is it in the career we build for ourselves? Or is it maybe in being the anchor that someone else desperately needs? Maybe, just maybe, our greatest purpose is found wherever we're needed most.